Underwear is dripping casually from hot breath. Astonishing phenomenon for the human wrapped in modulated, calibrated for the measured hands. Running softly through the hair for the passion that bites gently through the throws. Those who sought to find the blue eye elf, the overqualified. Love on time for the beginning to the end, for the love that's worth the loss, so this must happen. A love lived on time. Most love lives on, for this is not so dust, the loss to suppose that what it is so important to show up when the love is on time. But I feel, and I still remember what you did that day, for the still remember what you had to say, for the feeling of the still remember, for the still I can find what you do have to say, for this ballad. The last piece of the puzzle, the first piece of the soul, for the didn't lose that, for the all in the moment, for the gave myself for the piece by place, and this place stared into the creation and fabricated for the very own destruction. In the ocean did I desire the above the surface of love, for this is the crave to drown in someone's essence into my fullest capacity, for the lungs full of them. And I will withdraw the heart from my own chest to give them everything they needed to find it a little easier to flourish, to desire the presence that is around me with was the deepest of depths. The ocean said, yes, somehow the light still shines around me, filling with the warmth of the craving of sense birth. And often dreamed of the soul riding and the burning and spinning and for the searching of it, yet never arriving for the destination, never knowing of the what is it I can find. What am I for the vision, the empty hands, and the who am I could be again I can dream. The road searching, the spinning, and the riding, and the grinning, of the cheek to cheek to find what to trust. This empty hands and the trust of one to but themselves. This right here I am, but waiting for you, but this will be the act. Who blinks, who's enduring the tough, the time, to the way, the tears, to the important as a therapist. You can find the pain that did not inquire, for the unaware, for the fire did not aspire. That then again, the twirling of the thumbs, to the wonderment you what it is to say to you love, or then again for the lips to lock and shut. Selfish and selfishness could be practicing and how to find some peace without the dragging through the grease. It is the harboring over your jealousy for the alcohol. You can find the gums to the shelter over your confidence and never to be sprung. Remember when the set is love, this would be the play for the drum. Erratic in the curling over the sleep, it is an imagine you're hunting over the dreams. It is sporadic in the thoughts that I have, the should to leave. It over the dramatically left my heart to bleed. And I'll be her night. This the reckoning of your mate to just move on. Not mine constantly. I lose it or what do not have, and not having it, but it's all to be the same. I cannot help it. I need for this to be the listening, guiding my way, for the introvert, for the found my voice of the presence of the rejoice of the same touch. Or the presence that rejoice of the yes so far away, for the words of the riddles of the day by the day, for this you can find it off inside. Not helping hand for the just passing by, for the therapy, over the just me hoping over the guidance lost of the meant for me. Or the passive tone, hostile air, for the let me feeling in the loss of the bear, for the unqualified, for the you seem to be for the dry. Along the sea, for the this to be the open heart, for the making each session work of art, for this the polite and kind, and never the steer, for the safe in the space. I have no fear for the confidential talks, this bond we share for the presence, and I felt aware for the introvert, for the yet I find a place that this to be the warmth and the gentle and grace. With a face to the polar opposite, for the loose lips of the sinking ship sips this find the first time, bled with the stretching over the skin by hoping on the horizon for the redemption over these walls crash for the resentment and accomplishment for the pulling over the dreams and the tire for the fooling of fires to the final thoughts that were only inspired by the hope of yourself. It steals more than just joy for the squeezing the hope of the between the fingertips of the good night, for the sun in the morning and the moon, for the breathing in the morning over the good times, and for the colors that have the chance to imprint your essence for the to existence. There's something behind that to live forever for the to be always tense and not too mundane, whenever you can have the screens and the weather to wash it over for the machine. You could be there over the oil for the machine to be the washing over the applying over the bumming over the bath. But the vultures of the beautiful are not the same for the laugh. Or the premonition over your overflow with the just chasing over your run rock for the gazing down into the chasm over the standing tall against the high sky for the sprouting over what you had the time to grow for the love that I can love you still for the painkiller. Or likewise that I love too for the whatever you want with the room that you color the ceiling over the floor to be the shroom to the mundane enough of that you can find a place to sleep with the where I am for the breathing and be the embracing. Or the behind interpretation for the beyond that, for the past, for the logic of the mind, for the magnetic contraction, for the running of the lapse, for the breathing of the running in my mind, for the reading and the not for the time, the repeating of the dis and not to be the same, for the who am I, the turn, the dream, for the reclaiming of which are all the fame. The night, the day, for thought I would still sing, from the sense of the hope, for the falling, for the memory of the what you have, the sum of these, of the early solitude, for the How'd you make me feel?
While you were dancing with the devil, your number was also saved. And how would you do it? Ask questions you've been used to. You find the beautiful, the unknown, for the beautiful, the flinch. This what I cannot see. Instead, reach forward and for you for the beautiful unknown. Holds me softly as ruin. This is how I disappear for the let them call in love. It was the vertigo. It was the stillness. My heart remained awake. Thoughts of you lingered, bittersweet and ache. Memories of the time for the constant refrain. World slumbered, but the heart remained in pain. And I wished upon the stars and never to meet again. For the path would cross this kind of love with rain. I find it was not the dream that you gone free. And I'm left here for the memories of you and me. And the heart belongs to another, but the hope is truth. And it's not the memory for the secret of love, but the hidden view. I couldn't help but love what you did for love that remains. For some happened to some way. Love that remains. But the heart refuses to beat for you alone. For the love strong enough to echo forever in my bones. It was the ghost of you until now. The killer still believe you're gone. For the heart searches for you, but the only your picture remains for love and now belong. The nights you've been taken away from me left my heart once full of hope and love. For the empty and blind, for the memories. For a time together, for the sweet and carefree. For the moments of the once I wish this never could end. For the eternity is not for me. For the yearning, for the presence of your love to be true. You take it without a word, but it leaves me longing for you. And the silence of the hear, the whispers of the soul, for the ache and the dance, for the ghosts of you, for the hold on to what we had hold, for the shadows of the past and lingering pain. Echoes of the love of the heart that still remains. And just want to dance with the ghosts of you. To feel your arms around me and to wish that I could be with you. For the whispering and goodbye, for you fade away, for the leaving, but it's just a memory, for the longing, for the never fading. Did I ever find always to predict the way for the weed defeat moment? You see not wearing half of your perfume for the fragrance of your memory, for the critics to fill in the silence. And the train echoes in the distance when I feel the absence, and more than ever for the because that for the where I began to accept this is missing you first. And eventually for the drumming of the you can find I never knew. An observation if I could find. Not sure if it was, so this is to find riskfully getting the energy for the success or tired of reverberation for the foggy longing to whistle for the nocturnal train. Somewhere between the midnight down for the dream of dog silence, and this will be the end of vital echoes. This will just be wandering alone. Sometimes we're still the friend for the room, and missing with the naturally find a stainless way to fall and see the moon and the stars when I look up. Reflections of me for the face in the mirror every day for the hoping it reflects the version of who I wish it was to be, for the uncontrollable thoughts to the form, for the don't fight for the what it may mean, for the benefit of the point. How did you make me feel? While you were dancing with the devil, your number was also saved. How would you do it? Ask questions you've been used to. You find the beautiful, the unknown, for the beautiful, the flinch. This what I cannot see instead. reach for it and for you, the beautiful unknown. That holds me softly, it's ruin, it's how I disappear for to let them call in love. It was the vertigo. It was the stillness. My heart remained awake, thoughts of you lingered, bittersweet and ached in memories of the time for the constant refrain. The world slumbered, but the heart remained in pain. And I wished upon the stars never to meet again, for the path will cross this kind of love to rain. I find it was not the dreams of you gone free, and I'm left here for the memories of you and me. And the heart belongs to another, for the hope is true, and it's not the memory for the secret of love, for the hidden, for the view, for the couldn't help but the love that you give, for the left, for the vein, for the sundown, but the sunlight, and the love that remains. The heart refuses to beat for you alone, for the love strong enough to echo into forever in my bones. And it was the ghost of you until now, the killer still believe you're gone, for the heart searches for you, for but only your picture remains in the love and now the long. And the nights you've been taken away from me left my heart once full of hope and love, for the empty and blind, for the memories, for a time together, for the sweet and carefree, for the moments of the once I wish this never could end, for the eternity's not for me, for the yearning, for the presence of your love to be true. You were taken without a word, but leaving me longing for you. In the silence to hear the whispers of the soul, for the aching and dancing for the ghosts of you, for the hold on to what we had hold, for the shadows of the past and lingering pain. Echoes of the love at the heart that still remains. There's just one dance with the ghost of you. Feel your arms around me, the wish that I could be with you, for the whispering and goodbye, for the you fade away, for the leaving me with just a memory, for the longing, for the never fading. I ever find always to predict the way for the we defeat the moment. When you see not wearing half of your perfume, for the fragrance of your memory, for the crickets to fill in the silence. The train echoes at a distance when I feel the absence, and more than ever, because after the where I began to accept this is missing you fervently. Eventually, for becoming the you can find I never knew. An observation if I could find. I'm not sure if it was, so this is to find really getting the energy for the success or tired of reverberation for the foggy longing of a whistle for the nocturnal train. Somewhere between the midnight down for the dream of dawn and silence, this would be the end of violent echoes. This seems to be wandering alone for the you. Sometimes we're still the friend for the reminiscing of the naturally find a stainless way of falling. See the moon for the stars and when I look up. Reflections of me for the face in the mirror every day for the hoping they reflect the version of who I wish it was to be. Uncontrolled thoughts of the form for the don't fight for the weather than mean for the meant to be the point. Intoxicated text or the vexed disarray the further resurrection of the core for the heart for the beauty of the well. Never to stop caring for the justified for the know the weight of the birth for the to the cry. Breaking inside in the room for the names of the right, for the carefully breath for the breathe for the preach, justify the virtue for the tomb. Justify for the cry that breaks inside the room. Name for the things of the careful breath for the preacher for the virtue over yourself, for the limit over the overstimulated word for this use to think that you were the best. This is now to rank me first, this time to listen now. Question of the day, the difference you can get better on me for the merely spectating and for your dirty young man for the flying trapeze. This is everything that stays, and if you don't look too closely, make no difference. You can see it. Keepsake for the thought of you, for the thinking of, for the hurt like the bruise of the keep, pressing you with to feel something, awakening. For the need to be the Brazilian for the nothing because you forced me to be me. All in patch of green. When the time is stolen for the summer, you can find it not suffocate for the heart to creep up, and the time to frozen instead for this not sure, for the too deep into your eyes lost in the voids. This is what my soul. Dame Monday and ever find it going the way the students humbling experience where they came from what I've been for the truth. This been after that for the then for the hungover your several times and I opened up with a little lost of the book for the poem for the side of my mind. Still strange and orchids are staying in the different the life of the shadows are stretching, the hiding from sight for this the inherent of your sunsets, the rise of the girl the weapon. I learned throughout the long stay to go. I defined what this is, so the torture over the health or the best. There's the golden for the accuracy over the accurate.
cold season, seasoning for the unsolicited, for the back again, for the wind against the back door, for the giraffe that's closed my eyes and never closed. My mind was in the wrong place for the longing for what's dwelling on the learning of the learned from it, but that you didn't have to solve for the not the answer for what is then. Pain only hurts if you let it. You find a sting and loss of the womb so deep, with the rotten milk to close the voice of this notes, this finds tainted, but if you didn't know what to let it yourself forgot, but this at least applied to jail. Memories are all well, the half of this full rest over the bloodshed. Fine, shine really for the never, but you can feel life for the blinking of an eye. I will for the fate to blunt, for the head to call, for the over the hiccup, and then for the opening hour for you to be. The pain for the heart will be laced with the root. You can have to taste of every piece of you for the shattering of a million pieces in the dark. A single life for the cast of the endless shadow, for the men made mistakes, for the truth, for the cat, the life for this be a candle for the burning of the life, for the stair to become too dim to have to be relit. A bound for the reunion, for the longing hand, for the sweet reunion, for the demanding of the twine. Heart, there's a heart to bound for one. Or lighting behind yourself with the eyelids, the purple veins flicker for the delicate storms of the gathering, and the eyes carry the light. It will be right in front of you for the clock out, for the once you put the occupation over, that you could be the complexity for the simply. Turbulent seas of the unseen dreams of the constant sea, the sickness and feel, for the happiness to be the daily duality. Turbulence is mirrored in the sea breeze of the magnitude by the measure for the inconsistent throughout to find a small, timid, and with a simple. You learn to write for the silence and not carry the screams, and engulf that under the sprout for the feelings and over the complexities to simple only the mind that sometimes doubt. The vineyard of the layer souls of the field, and find the lines across the hills of the countryside slope that just drew to find the rising of the Rosen line. The green glows fill the air of the state, the haze that find the pronounced depth, and now for the non-judgmental for the gaze of the quiet breath of this down the deep and slope. Nobody knows now for the day will bring the music of the stars, the rhythmic for the beat, for the pulling forward into the dancing feet, for the this will be the bass fade, vibrate for the through the souls and he'll be happy hum. Life simplified for the dawn will come, twirling and swaying across the inside the south, for the leaving the heavy, the thoughts unbound, for the no future plans, for the regrets of the past, for the present, for the moments of the minute, the truly lies of the weed and whispers of the comfort. Soft green embracing raising lines and this edge deeper upon the face of this is solved, good with the truly heal, for the this will be the know the real over the edge of the happily happen feel. Shadows creep, the truth will begin to rise, and the chilling, the whisper behind the laughing eyes, and this will be the time to wish this fine. Silent and the aching plea for the fading away, for the simply seek to be, for the music swells to the waves upon the shore, to push it back to the darkness of the core. Another token, another dizzy spin, another reason they're not giving the right in, for the dancing hard now, for the desperate, frantic plea now to losing myself in the ecstasy, for the sweat, slicked in the skin, for the life to begin to blur, for the everything isn't better than for the lurking under, for the tangled mess, and I can find a nodding over the fraying ahead. With a glaring fraying thread, for the better, the left untangled, for the better, left unsaid, for the dance of smoke, left the rhythm guided, for the leaving all reminded, for the aching of the feeling of pushing inside. The night will end, and the music will fade, and the left to be to fight to face another day, for this will be the hours and the neon gleam, for this is where to have to find what it seems a forgotten dream, for this is just a body, or just a body moving for the weightless and over so free, for the loss of the music of your jazz, just to be me for the moment, for the dying and to take the flight, for the place of the pure joy, for the bride, remember the night. Where the music flows to the asphalt for the say, for the say, the say, the grave confetti for the bloom, for the worn out the jeans in the familiar room, for the season of the green, for the hazy perfume, the shadows and the blanching in the room, where the banishing gloom, where the surrender to the heat, where the let the wash away for the bitter defeat, for the give of the kitchen, for the salting over the glow, for the illuminating your steps and I barely know, for the comes into turn, for the ever the can I go, for the whispers, for the relentless flow, for the what you ought to be, for the list of flows. Or etched in eternity for the breaths of the rhythm, for the briefly quiet, for the hummingbird with escaping of gravity, for the bass of the drums, the pulse, the find the mirroring of the heart. A fragile engine for the playing of its own part, for the ignoring of the cracks in the find the imploring of the darkness, the beckoning of it, the tearing me apart, for the twist and sway, the sway, and fragile wilting and thing for forgetting in the depths of the future, for the future who wants to bring emotion out. A silent, joyful swing, and the memory sleeps as I hope to begin to sing, for another token for the glow, for the glow, for the call, for the call, for the days and the haze, and for another reason to prolong the days and the nights of your dancing in smoky maze. And away from the life of the dismay, for this to be the tomorrow, for the despair will bite, for the shadows of living over the morning light, for those hours of the bathing in the neon, I can find a lost in sound. And everything's alright, for the songs building higher, for the lifting above, for the constant ache, for the absence of the true love, for the numbing fear, for the back into the gentle shower over the melody, for the peace and the peace sent for the above, for the floorboards creak, with the whisper to read. Reprimanded for the ignoring of the wonderland, for the solitaire, for the dancer in the promised land, for the weave, for the this to be held in my head, for the night grows, and as the record just starts to skip. Trimming it away for the whip. around the time that we didn't have that imagination and margin to keep yours in life and just to get into the orbit. Here's the harsh haiku, clouds trembling at the pouring of the rain, sorrow after the crazy, the threat. This is no hunter for the upon the hills trying to tell. That to the body, for the heart that spins your real. Done, or something you feel there's something in the approach. The broken at the dam, that this to find the value of the heart for the sky within the storm, but this doesn't value the stars, this has had to be there. Or alive with the past, and this is the part for the beautiful to know, for the one day seen full, for the treasure that awaits in the members that want to stay. Or do we carry for the weight of what we keep? The weight of the full hamper for the particular kind of exhaustion for your support, for this is the most basic kind of need for right now, for your bedroom is starting to look like a nap at the cupboard return. Harm by the power of the tools next door. Or there's a hound, the soundtrack to the next week, for this the numbers of the armor your dissipates for the next exactly flapping around for the more of the butterflies to the wall for the path of. You still heard that most cry, the rooms in the mist, the live in the dark, for this will be the end, for this not no full house or simple act of two specs. This is the universe to keep the hands off for the course of another, for the night to shift this world of sleep. Shoes by the tide, for the couldn't explain, for the smile that mixed with the mind. I find the sunlight after the rain, for your stone skipping, for your thinking that you summer nights under the lights of the skies of the stars. Or no matter how the eye we get into, what a nice moon is to see the transition of light for the broad display of the day lifting. You and me with the flower that I am to be still, for this is beer with all the honey for you, for that I can give you the money for the panoramic view, for the haiku, for the fortunate, for this to be the missing unset. Timber for the erasing the state, the code is a casket and call for a habit. Laughing behind so-called haiku for the finding me, for the heightened emotion, for the tearing the eye line before you contacting lip. Uninvited knocking out for the arms are full, for the walk go for your anchor, for the distance and know the new place, distance everywhere, for falling like the eyes fires ever the weed house. Or you get high enough at the gas station, you can't take this written incorrectly for the tears of the pain. And they've been totally censored for the illusion of the freedom of speech that this is fine, it exists now, for this is no possible title. Or the royal dust ball, paintball, peephole, this is the head of the masquerade, this is the dust bowl for the half the heartbeat. Call it the news under the peerings of the screen, or the grief of the random. Friday, time with you, breath take, coming up, no draft, with to intent, no draft, committed for your yesterday's moon. Blessed are the ones who raise the dead, indescribable, or what you have threatened to finish off the old, save it off of the scraps, weak to false power for the aggression gives it no man, for no man will never, for the wake up of your choosing yourself with the pack the bags you walk away, choose yourself again for the lion of pride, for this would be the blood to move towards your busy fertility, for the polarizing, and for the industry for your set to stone. And the rough band now like me, for the heart of the rock and roll, for the empty chamber. Your Lord knows I need it, for the pressure stepped in, for this to be the greeted. Looking at me that way. You find a salad over the way that you can be the drop it, the wait for this is self-love, for the to become now, for this to take the book to find it, take it off the shelf, for the solitude, for the indigo. Where the skies the whips for you were not a wildflower, the imperfect, for the insanely sweet, for the taste of serendipity, for the tanging of a dream. Simple. Between me and the version of myself you deem. Storm I became. Somehow knew you lost a friend and I remember, for the still connected, for the you can pick up the phone but no, for the beautiful longing of the curly hair, for light where the sun only shine from us, for the you can know the awakened time, trust in that lust, or the explicit time for the night, for the faring faint hearted, for this is no the departed, for this is all the rivers press and never go recovering at the base of the sides, so this is the envy bystand. Such acts aren't exactly complacent, for you're offering no help with the tanning outside your window, for the dust in the corners now. Brush yourself for the colors that you came to rest on the earth, for not only wish to take the cascading into my mind, find the thoughts of what the love is the benefit that you know, two horizons to the authority. Since you have survived the storm to spend the lifetime thinking into the deep uncharted waters.
Laughing and searching.
Laughing and searching. Hoping and waiting. Hoping that somehow promises life a bit of fake pain. Dark hope for the ache and this truth, the colliding of tapestry over the switch rooms. Spark of life and this other lies to the wilderness heights and disappearance upon it. Unshamed and standing here, bare breath over the humanity for the temperatures and guys, except for the melodic moonlit. Just find the poets and melody over the syllables and the sound of crazy again, enough for the bearded beaten by the nails and this color devotion. Sin, try, a whole motion, a lie, mindfulness. This is all unusual for reason. At least lead the glow, the gloom, the splendor and the peace. Or knowing the piece of wood, and if I would, then mine again. The shame for the tragedy, for the target that really behind the bound. Train to destination for the lone, find it underneath that for the unseen grace, grief against unvows and silence and tears in the heavens and bound. Hard as the ankles of the midless dunes of the faithless and embracing over the east and over the tomb of the love and the embracing your fleeting bloom with the timeless and void. Beyond the bodies and light, the blooms and wonder for the pharaoh, but this echoes of your littering gale for the distant to find the lamp and lamp and in for the moon for tale. The starless night. Become aware. For the effect of the actions and echoes choices made for the peace of this arrest to get along the sound and lessons taught for this to never learn. Use this servitor and ever admiring the sky for the thought that came to my mind for the same space and consciousness of the dwelling of the world for the constellations and for the dancing above for the twinkle of the rider for the love of yourself within. And the bird tossed to another for the just a hop. Fly away for the summer for the only spring. If the dragonfly, the everworld, the bond, the mother water for the distant chance of birds, for this to never catch the wings, and to close my eyes and I land there still. Activated, never soon, never that the rushing sky will stay, and the love will hold unconditional. It will leave for it as long as you're with me, and not for me because of you and the love, but the love is for the desperate, the marine clear, for the and the cannot be free for the suffering you see. The ship that burned the ocean breeze that resounded for the fall of his knees and whisper the wind. This war concentrated for the isolate. Breath one divine lung full and chase incident sense of the aches and the breaks, the exalting and the exhaling of the way of the moment. Endure the pain. For the running shoes at the start, for the idea, for the run, the laced up the shoes for the last time, for the run of the harder than ever, for the pray to God, for this to not catch the break, to find the time to go plan back, this to run the inch, this to confess, dreams of the way for the never delay, keys there for the integrity, for the treading safe, accept the God, the grind, the cook, the kiss, and for the ego, for the 4 bits to sell yourself out, going over the tear to open the cocoon. And light lost is perhaps the way to find a place of this brilliance enough to go to find the most surprising, eyes closed and turmoil for the mind and hard to unbend. I suppose. Kind of rain that don't feel the warning and the soft enough to heal to find the heavy enough to drown to catch the reflections of the pretty enough to find the beautiful being alive. Pretty much just a scream alive for the present, for the invisible, for the making itself seen. Struggle strength found, tempers of the swelling around. Silence of the love profound, tangled thoughts of this peace and wine, light within the mind. Hope you will seek in time.